Some athletes play the game. A few bend it to their will with nothing but belief and a stubborn mind that refuses to bow. Zlatan Ibrahimović learned that long before the world knew his name. He grew up in Rosengard, a tough block of high-rises in Malmö, the son of immigrants from the Balkans, in a home split between two parents. Money was tight, tempers were short, and respect had to be claimed, not given. He watched older kids swagger to survive, and he decided early he'd carry himself the same way. On the field, as a boy, his coaches saw raw power and wild edges. He tried back heels when he should have made the simple pass, went for overhead kicks when a header would do. Some thought he was selfish. He thought he was fearless. He nearly quit the sport as a teenager, frustrated and angry, until a mentor pulled him back and told him to trust the part of him that made him different. By 1999, he was in Malmö FF's first team. The club slid into relegation, but he refused to see it as the end and stayed to fight. He helped drag them back up the next season, and with that, the big clubs took notice. Ajax came calling in 2001, a factory for talent and a place where swagger could be either polished or stamped out. Amsterdam was not easy at first. He clashed with teammates, bristled under orders, and got benched when the tricks didn't work. But when he found a lane, the goals came in bursts and the titles followed. In 2004, he slalomed past defenders for a solo goal that felt like a declaration. "This is how I play, and I won't apologize for it." Juventus signed him that same year. Turin was a different world. Iron discipline, old gold standards, the weight of past champions. Under Fabio Capello, he learned to turn flair into a weapon with an edge, to use his size and touch to decide games, not just decorate them. Then came the Calciopoli scandal. Titles lost on paper, and a club in chaos. He didn't sync with it. Inter Milan picked him up in 2006, and Italy became his kingdom. He bullied center-backs, hit volleys with either foot, and turned tight matches into wins. The league crowns stacked up, 3 in a row, and his persona grew with them. Bold words, bigger goals, and a sense that he carried his own weather wherever he went. In 2009, Barcelona offered the grand stage. It was supposed to be a perfect marriage, the big man with velvet feet in a team of constant motion. He started well, then ran into an idea bigger than himself, a system with its own gravity, and a coach who wanted every piece to fit just so. He wouldn't shrink to fit. One season, one lesson. Even for the supremely confident, not every room will bend. He headed back to Italy with AC Milan and looked like himself again. In 2011, he led a bruised giant to the title, demanded high standards from a young squad, and turned snarling games into statements. He scored in bundles the next year, and then moved to Paris, right as a new project aimed to change French football's skyline. At Paris Saint-Germain, he became the face of an ambitious era. The league titles arrived, the goals piled up, and defenders learned there was no safe range when he had space to turn. When he joined Manchester United in 2016, many said the Premier League would catch up to him. He saw another hill to climb. He became the team's cutting edge, hit decisive goals, and lifted cups, until a brutal knee injury in the spring of 2017 brought everything to a hard stop. At 35, with a torn ligament, most strikers fade out quietly. He refused that ending. He went through months of heavy rehab, came back to the pitch, and when it was clear his time in England had closed, he simply opened a new chapter. Late in 2019, he returned to Milan at 38, this time as a veteran with scars and a voice the locker room needed. The pandemic emptied the stands, and in those quiet stadiums, you could hear him, teaching, pushing, correcting. He scored when it mattered, and set standards for players who had grown up watching him on television. In 2022, at 40, he stood with them as champions of Italy again, having played through a damaged knee that needed major surgery after the celebrations ended. By the time he said goodbye in 2023, mist in his eyes and a stadium chanting his name, the numbers told one story, and the posture told another. His career was a timeline of trophies and highlight reels, yes, but also a study in how belief can be armor, blade, and torch. It protected a kid from a hard neighborhood, cut paths through rooms that doubted him, and lit the way for others who wondered if they were allowed to be more.